everybody, welcome back to Rachel and Bella Crafts. Rachel here, hope you're all well. So welcome back to my series where we are building this lovely lapbook. Now you might observe that I haven't yet actually committed anything to the base yet, and that's just because I'm still kind of just adding some bits on, put a bit of stitching on last night. I have stuck these on, I'm committed to that, but I've just had a bit of a word in myself, and I could hear Pam resonating in my ear with her what is it she says, create with reckless abandon, because I am a little bit guilty of overthinking everything. Sorry guys, I just put some cream in my hands a minute. Because I just get caught up in this whole, like, oh, shall I do this? Shall I put this there? Shall I? And then I end up not doing anything because I've overthought it all. So I'm running out of time now, and I have to commit paper to paper, not pen to paper, and make some decisions. But first of all, I just want to quickly show you all this week's freebie. So I've created, again, another type of folio. I'm sorry, I got hiccups now. Every time I start videoing, I get hiccups. So if you remember last week, we did these cute little, flip down folios that went into, could go rather, into your, oh, that was nice. I forgot I did that there. That could go into your, what am I making? A lapbook. If you, oh gosh, this is a good start, isn't it? If you wanted to, you know, craft along, make one of those with me too. So I brought you now another one this week. I've also brought you another collage sheet, because this one was from the last video. And I know there's lots of you who've used these and have cut them down and used them as little inserts and everything. That's brilliant. So I've done another one for you, slightly different size to those ones. These ones are a little bit smaller, and then these ones are smaller again. I just thought they'd be really nice. You could might want to use those as little stamps or something. They'd be nice on clusters, or it would just be nice as a background page. So you've got that one first. That's the collage page. All of these are available over on my Ko-fi. So if you go over to my, if you go into the description box in the video, you will see a link tree. All my links are listed there individually as well, and I always put the link straight to the freebies. But if you miss that and go all around the houses, you can go to my link tree, and on my link tree is a link directly to my Ko-fi shop. Go into the Ko-fi shop. At the top of the Ko-fi shop will be like categories, press on freebies, and then it'll show you all of the freebie files that we've got there. And this one will be at the top, I hope. I think it goes chronologically. Anyway, so that's the first page. Then we've got, I should have shown you this way around really, this here. So that's your kind of base for your folio, okay? So remember last week we had the one that scalloped like that. Well, this one, I'm going with this shape. Then we've got, gosh, my ink must be bleeding a bit, is it? To clean my printer, I think. Then we've got this one here. And then we've got this one here. So these are the gatefold doors, 2 pockets. These are 2 folds, and I'm going to show you, I'm going to show you 2 ways, I think, today on how you can use these. I have backed mine with the texture pages out of the Woodland kit, so I've just printed these out, and I've put these ones on there. I think, what did I put on that one? Yeah, I put that one on there, and then again the wood and the Hessian on the back of those ones there, just to kind of mix things up a bit. And they're just really nice because they give texture, and they you know, they're not clashing with any patterns then that are on the front. All of these freebies have been made up from pages out of the Woodland kit and the Forest Threads kit. So if you do recognize them or you like the particular pattern, you can go and get the full pages over in those 2 kits as well. Kits are still on sale, so if you do want to go grab yourself a bargain, zip over now. I've also added in some little fussy cuts for you to use to decorate your project today. Okay, so without further ado, now I haven't overthought this. I've just figured that we kind of work it out as we went along, because I'll show you what I'm doing it within mind. Does that make sense? The purpose for which I want this folio. If I can just move all my bits of ephemera out of the way a minute. I've made another one of these like flippy fold things, okay? It's exactly the same as the one that I did in last week's video. I've just turned it around. So if you recognize that, it might have been the video before that actually. I think it was the one before. So you see it's exactly the same. I've just I'm just going to turn this one upside down just to mix things up, because obviously the one on this side will go up like so. Got like that, look. Do you remember we did this and I covered that and I put that on the inside there? Do you remember that? Yeah? It's a little while back, I'm sure. And then we put that little pocket in there. Can you see that pocket there? So I've just added some bits of stitching now to it, just to add a bit of interest and give it some texture. But this one I want to do that, so one will open that way, look, and then, oh dearie me, I'm drooping flowers now. One will open that way and then one will open downwards. So I thought, right, well, I want some bits and pieces now to kind of accompany this. That's not the word I'm looking for. What's the word I'm looking for? No, I can't think. It's there, but it'll come to me later. Now my brain will shut down now until I remember the word. What's the word when something goes with something? Oh, I don't know. You probably all know. You're probably all shouting at me. I can't think. Anyway, coordinate. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, whoever told me that then. So what I thought I'd do is use these in two different ways to accessorize this little template folio that I've made a start on here. So obviously I haven't committed to anything. These flaps and folds can go any which way I choose. Obviously that's going to have to go in there, but I might have something coming off that. So I thought we'll just have a play and we'll build it up together. Is it? All I've done is add some stitching and I've stitched this big pocket in the top, so when that falls down there's a big pocket there. But other than that, nothing else has been done. So I've created these, I've measured them on my page so that I feel that they will like add to this, not take over. So let's give it a try. The first thing that we're going to work on is a topper, like I did with the other one. So this will oh gosh, I'm struggling with my words today, aren't I? Complement what we've done on the other side. So first and foremostly, and I have found the correct one today. I hope you're all well, by the way, everybody. And if you are just joining me, haven't been to my channel before, hello, by the way. It's very nice to have you here. You will get used to, if you come back, you will get used to my crazy waffle and the way that my brain doesn't always want to play ball, as they say. But yeah, we do have a bit of fun here. So, and like I say, if you it's the first time you're joining us and you're wondering what's with the freebies, where do I get those from, as I explained, all the links are down in my description box down below. So let's just fold that over there and then fold that back over there. I wonder if today I can get through a video without my phone going or my texts going. We'll see, shall we? Apologies guys if my video is a bit all over the place today. I'm going to be completely honest with you. It's been a bit of a week, and today is like the first day I've been able to kind of think clearly. I don't know when I last did my video. I can't remember when I uploaded it. Was it Saturday? Was it Sunday? I'm really not sure. But since my last video, yeah, we've had a bit of a trying week. So my dad's not been very well. So if you could keep him and Bella, Mum, in your prayers, we would very much appreciate that. Mum called us all last week to go down. Myself and my brother and sister, she was a bit worried. Dad was being a little bit not like himself. My dad had 2 strokes in 2019, so just prior to COVID. And our health service didn't treat him very well. They didn't pick up on it when he was having the first one. Sent him home, and then he ended up having a bigger one again, and then ended up in hospital for a little while. So, but thank God he made a very good recovery, and there was no lasting damage, just a little bit of it affected his sight a bit, you know. But anyway, on Sunday then he had a moment, we'll call it. So I was a bit worried, and from what Mum had described, I thought, well, this sounds a little bit like a TIA. So we went down, tried to take him to A&E. I did ring 111 first, which is like what you have to do here. You can't just go to the hospital. You've got to ring like this emergency health line, and they tell you if they deem you to be an emergency. So we did that, and they were like, yeah, from what you're telling us, you really should take him to A&E. So we went to A&E, and cut a long story short, there were 90 people waiting in the A&E department. Hours and hours and hours of waiting, and basically my dad was like, nah, there's no way I'm sitting there. Well, there wasn't even a seat to sit on. It was horrendous. It was like a cattle market in there. I did go in and ask the lady if I could sit there or stand there and wait for him, and if he could go and at least sit in the car. But the the staff behind the counter weren't terribly helpful. Well, in fact, the one lady was just downright rude, and she basically said, the nurses don't have time to run around looking for patients or waiting for them to, you know, get in here from their vehicles. You know, and don't get me wrong, I have the utmost respect for our health service. It's not them we are frustrated with. We're frustrated with the pesky middle management that make these ridiculous decisions and have closed all our... We have one casualty, A&E, I don't know what you call that, wherever you guys are, but major emergency room, we call it in America. Yeah, we have one here for a very large area of people, several counties actually, and it just so happens that Mum and Dad literally live 5 minutes down the road from it, but a lot of people have to travel an hour to get to this emergency room, which is ridiculous when you think you can cross Wales in 2.5 hours. You know, nobody should have to travel that far in this country. It's not like where you guys are, you know. So anyway, she wouldn't let him do that, so I went out, and my brother and sister were like, I think we'd best just take him home. And I said, well, why don't we see if we can get a first responder out? So anyway, we went home and settled him down, checked his blood pressure and everything again, and he seemed to be okay. He'd had a bit of a momentary memory loss moment he had. They call it global glandular amnesia, I think. So anyway, we sat with him, and Dad seemed okay, so we all agreed Mum was going to ring the GP first thing in the morning and just keep a close eye on him that evening. Thankfully they got in the GP on the Monday morning, and that's what the GP said. Yeah, in all fairness, the GP was excellent, very helpful, rang the stroke department, and they said, yeah, it sounds like this global... Guys, I hope you're watching what I'm doing, sorry, because I can't talk, and I'm basically just folding all these folds down a minute. That it sounded like this global glandular amnesia, because he basically had like 20 minutes that he can't remember what happened. And they just got to wait now, so it's about a fortnight's wait now to see someone at the stroke clinic. So basically, yeah, it was a little TIA, and they've checked his medication and everything, and it was the one that he wasn't getting, so they've sorted that out for him. And well, we've all just prayed and hoped that you know, he's going to be all right and that he's healed. So yeah, it's like I say, that was not a great start to the week. My eldest was not very good at the beginning of the week either. He was having some mental health challenges. So Monday morning, in that storm we had here, I drove up to see him and check in with him. And as you know, kids are always a worry. He's doing good now though, thankfully. As always, we'd always appreciate your prayers and my boys. And then Tuesday, I had to drive to Swansea to take myself and my middle son for a medical following the car accident we had a couple of weeks ago. So that was another jolly jaunt down there. The appointment wasn't until like 7 o'clock in the evening. So anyway, I went down. Thankfully, he's all settled into his uni digs, very happy down there. But the drive and then going over to speak to the thing and going over it all again kind of really upset him. So he was most upset that when we had the accident. He was very traumatized is the word I'm going to use, because he was. I mean, I don't say that lightly. So yeah, and of course having to talk about it all again, then that kind of unsettled him a bit. So he was a bit quiet, and of course then he was stressing a bit because we're trying to get him. He's supposed to be having like a grant come through to help with his accommodation this year, because we've got him different accommodation this year. He was in a flat share last year in the middle of Swansea, and as I think most of you know, my children are on neurodivergent. My eldest got ADHD, my middle son is autism and ADHD diagnosed, and my youngest has just had a diagnosis of autism. They didn't give him the diagnosis of ADHD, even though he scored really highly on it, so I've got to go back and fight that one again. But yeah, you know, so I basically say they've all got you know, different aspects of the spectrum that they're dealing with. But my middle son was living in a student comm in Swansea last year, and he was struggling a lot. He was in like a 6-person flat share, and the lads that were in the flat with him weren't particularly sensitive to, you know, his need for quiet, or you know, the kitchen would always be a mess, or they'd have other people there and be having parties in the kitchen. Of course, he would just go days and he wasn't eating. He won't get any sleep. He was getting the bus then onto campus to go in and study in the library at 3 a.m. in the morning. So you can imagine me, mother here, you know, an hour and a half away, stressing, thinking, why is he not, you know, what's he doing on a bus in the middle of the city at 3 a.m.? You know, and being vulnerable. So yeah, that was a bit of a worry. So thankfully, the autism department lady, support person that works in the uni, she helped us apply for a 1-bedroom flat this year on campus, much to my relief. So there would be no late night bus trips. I mean, if he wants to study in the library at 3 a.m, I have no issues with that. But him getting a bus from Swansea Town Centre over to the campus was really worrying me, because I mean, we all know 3 a.m. is when everything kicks off, all the drunks get kicked out of pubs and all that kind of thing. I just didn't want him hanging about at that time of night. So yeah, so we've got this flat, and of course we were supposed to have had this funding come through to help out, because the fees are higher. Obviously, anything that is for somebody that needs more support, they whack up the charges on it, don't they? So but it hasn't come through, so he's really stressing about that at the minute. And bless him, he did his budget the other day, and he was like, I said, well, you know, what have we got left after pay me? So I've got like £40 a week to live on, Mum. And I was like, oh my goodness, okay. He said, I'll be all right, I'll manage, I'll be able to do it. And I was like, oh my goodness. And of course I'm saying, you know, we can help out. And he's like, oh no, I you know, I want to do it myself, blah blah blah. But so yeah, that kind of stressed me a bit then. So then on Wednesday I had to do 2 Zoom call training things, because I'm trying to do some training on, you know, learning more about autism. And then I had one in the morning, and then realised as I was trying to log into this call that I was actually clicking the wrong link. I was clicking on the link for the one for the following day. So when I finally found the right one, and then yeah, that was a bit like just all over the place. And then in the evening I had to do another one, and then one in the evening was 3.5 hours long. Oh my gosh, I was literally on my last ebb. So yeah, that wasn't great, but the training itself was very interesting. I mean, the first one I think was all about sensory overwhelm, and like how to spot it and how to deal with it and how to support with it, which I gotta be honest, a lot of it resonated with myself, because obviously, as you all know, I've got ADHD, and you know, that's a big thing for me, is feeling overwhelmed. And then when you're already feeling overwhelmed, and then suddenly like there's little noises, there's bright lights, there's people hammering next door on the wall, or you know, all those kind of motorbikes is my biggest trigger. That makes me really like mad. I get like, I get tamping if I got my windows open and there's like a bike goes past and they like really rev, and it really like rankles me. Or if I'm walking down the street and a motorcycle goes past, I get like really irate. I just can't help it. It's awful. So that was interesting. And then one in the evening then was all about what was the one in the evening about? Oh, understanding autism. So that's why that one was so long. And obviously I've signed up to these courses like months ago. It's just, it takes forever for them to kind of come around, or you'd get a place, you know. And I can't complain because they are free. They put on for free by a brilliant organisation, which is based over in Rhondda and Taff. So yeah, that was my like Thursday. Oh, I haven't put on this streak, guys. That's so annoying. And of course I can tell because there's lines behind it. Oh well, it is what it is. So guys, you're overlaying these pockets here. I'm sorry, I'm hoping you're going to follow here. My kids tell me I ought to look out for some counselling. I don't need counselling. I've got my YouTube people to listen to me. So sorry guys, if you want a direction, you're going to just have to kind of pick this up as I go along, because I can't think waffle and, you know. So yeah, anyway, that was that was Wednesday. And then Thursday, yesterday, I got up and I had another Zoom call to do, which was all about managing meltdowns, which I really needed to be in. As much as I was like zoomed out, I really needed to do this session, because that's been a real problematic area. These 2 flaps now, guys, you're going to take these little pockets, I'm going to put them on the inside, okay? That's been a real problematic area for us over the summer holidays, when the 2 boys were home together, my middle one and my youngest sharing a room, and my middle son was under huge amounts of stress this summer because he hadn't finished all his exams. He had to go back and do some that he deferred. So they were done in the summer. He wasn't going to know then if he was getting into uni until a week before, actually 4 days before enrollment. He found out he passed. So it's just been horrendous. And we had a lot of meltdowns. And I'll be honest, I didn't feel equipped to deal with them. And of course, because I've got my my reactive side of me, I'm either off or I'm on. I haven't always historically been the best person to deal with either. Incidentally, the calmest one is my eldest, who obviously doesn't live with us, but whenever he's around, he's great and he's really calm, and manages to like diffuse a lot of things. But yeah, so I was really keen to kind of like get into that session yesterday, which I did, and I was glad that I did, because then when I went to pick my youngest up from school yesterday, which I wasn't going to do, but some little voice was just about to sit down and have a sandwich, like 2:30, and I thought, ooh, should I go and pick him up from school? Because if the weather's nice, he walks home with his friends. And I don't know, a little voice was just saying, no, go get him. Go get him. So I checked the weather and I thought, well, it might rain, but I thought, I'm just going to go. So anyway, I went down to pick him up and he came out and you could see it straight away. Opened the back door, slung the bag in the back door, opened the front door, and he was just getting in. And I thought, right, first thing that they tell you in your training when they're having a meltdown is to stop speaking, basically, right? So stop your voice, basically. But I know if they're in a bad mood, well, I know my youngest does, he'll slam my car door when he gets in. Well, that really hurts my ears. And I thought, well, if I get oversensitised, I'm not going to be able to help him out. So all I said was, please don't slam the door, as quiet as I could. And in all fairness, he didn't. And he sat there and oh, you guys would have been so proud of me. I didn't say a word. I just sat there. I didn't move. And I just waited. And he was huffing and puffing. And I thought, now is this going to end up as temper or tears? I didn't say a word, and I just waited. And then there was a lot of noise, and a lot of kids came out yesterday at the same time. And I thought, right, I don't think this is going to help him if I just sit here. We need to move. But I didn't want to pull off without check, so I did just say, are you okay for me to drive? And he was like, yes, okay. So as I was driving up home, we live by a primary school. And I was thinking to myself, if I pull up now, there's always traffic outside my house at that time of day. And I thought, if I pull up outside our house now, there's going to be cars everywhere. It's going to be carnage. And there's going to be people everywhere. And I know by the time I get home, he's going to be upset. And he doesn't need an audience. Do you know what I mean? So I thought to myself, right, I'm not going to drive straight home. I'm going to drive over to the, it's called the balance. It's like it's where my other half parks to walk the dogs, basically, over by the fields, up by the mountain, you know, it's literally across the road from where we live. But I thought, I'm going to just pull over there because there's nobody about. And then if he wants to have a little, you know, outburst, he can, in peace and quiet, without feeling embarrassed or whatever. He needs to just get it out of his system, basically. So I pulled up over there, and as I did, he got out the car then and had a stomp around the car and a little shout and a moan, and then got in the car and burst into tears. And I just sat there and I just put my hand out on his hand like that, and I didn't speak for about 25 minutes. I have no idea how, but I just sat there quietly and I just let him get it all out. So he had a good old cry, and then he got out again, he had a little shout, and then he got back in, and then I gave him a drink out of his bag because I thought he's gonna be thirsty now, and I just let him do what he needed to do, basically. And after about 25 minutes, he then, like, it was done, you know. You could see he was kind of like through with it. And he said, oh, and then he told me exactly what had happened, which they don't always do. And of course, in the past, I'm guilty of, oh my gosh, what's the matter? What's happened? What's wrong? Which is not helpful to somebody. Obviously, I mean, it sounds obvious when you say it, but you don't think this at the time, because this is a parent, this is the mum who just want to know what's wrong, don't you? But yeah, that's not helpful, apparently. Asking questions. So I had to kind of retrain my brain. And it's funny because I didn't actually think that I was listening, because I got to be honest, I really struggle with Zoom calls. It grates on my ear, the sound of the speaker on my laptop. So, and when they talk, and the ladies that did the course were lovely, very, very thick Welsh Valley accents. And sometimes it just triggers me a bit. It just irritates me a bit. And it's like, oh my gosh, I can't listen to much more of this now. And of course for 2.5 hours listening. So I kind of felt like I was switching off a bit, but obviously I wasn't, because, oh, how did I manage to do that? Look at that. I didn't even purposely mean to print that on the back. That is just crazy. I just printed the sheet onto the back of it, but it's just worked out that it's the same. Well, there you are. Look, see the things you do and you don't even realise you're doing it. I'm just going to ink this a minute, guys. So yeah, anyway, it turned out that as he was walking out of school yesterday, he'd had a brilliant day. And as he was walking out of school with his girlfriend, there were some girls from the year group above walking in front of them, making fun of them. And as they were, if she did, his girlfriend fell over on the ground. Now my youngest son is very much a carer. He is overly caring and empathetic, because I've had to speak to him a couple of times recently where he's giving his lunch away and not eating in school, and then he's ended up feeling rough. So I was kind of like, oh gosh. So I know this would have hit him hard, you know, the fact that she'd fallen. Not only then did she fall over and bang her knee on the floor. And I mean, you know, they're not like 5-year-olds, talking about 14-year-old kiddies, you know. These two girls that were in front turned around and then were making fun of her even more. So, of course, my son was getting really upset then. Now, whereas my middle son would have had an outburst, he probably would have got up and ranted and shouted at the girls. Dan didn't, and he just said, oh, will you go away? It's not like you've never fallen over in your life, you know, or words to those effect. And he said they did walk off then, but obviously he was upset then for his girlfriend and was worried in case she'd hurt herself, and because she gets the bus home. So, but yeah, that was basically what it was, and it was all that kind of frustration then coming out. So I just and of course you've got to validate, and I said, well, I can understand perfectly why you feel upset, you know, and that's really not nice. What was worse then was hearing that the person that was making fun of them is actually the school's head girl. So I was a bit not impressed by that, and I thought, well, if that's the best you can do for the person who's meant to be representing the ethos of the school, then something's not quite right here, is there? So yeah, I wasn't impressed about that, I gotta be honest. So yeah, that was like yesterday's frustration. And of course, whilst I was sitting there then listening to this Zoom call in the day, I want to fold this over the top of you guys. I'm just debating a minute. I'm just thinking, so bear with, because I'm just thinking on the thing, if that opens out like that, and then that opens out like that, and then that opens out like that. Yeah, we could put things there then, couldn't we? Do you see what I'm thinking? Are you with me on this? Or is it too much? No, I think it's nice because it's a bit of a surprise then. What's under there, isn't there? Yeah, no, I'm going to go with that. Okay, we'll see how it goes when I get it on the page, but I think it'll be all right. I'm just checking that my tabs are long enough. If your tabs are not long enough and you want to add them on as an add-on, you can just stick another bit of paper on the edge of it and make the flip bigger, if that makes sense. Okay, so yeah, that was basically the crux of what happened there. But whilst I was watching the Zoom in the afternoon, my head then just went off somewhere else, and I started stressing then about this whole thing with you know, this funding and all for my son in the uni. And I was thinking, oh, you know, well, if this hasn't worked out now, and one thing and another, and they have like a hardship fund there at the uni, but he wouldn't apply for it. So I saw the conversation we've been having the night before, and I was like, but it's specifically to help with these additional costs. And he was like, no. And he said, I've had too many things, I've been rejected from them. He said, I don't want to apply for this now. He said, in case they turn me down. He said, I don't think I could cope with that. So of course, in the past, I'd have argued with him, but I was like, I got to understand how he's feeling here, and he is quite right. That's hard, isn't it? It's difficult dealing with rejection. So I said, oh, right, okay. So I didn't like it, but I did say, okay, well, that's fine. You know, got to validate the way he's feeling. Yeah, that'll be all right there. I'm thinking I might put some yummy cheesecloth. Now, what did I do with my cheesecloth? Bear with me a second, guys, because I've got my reading glasses on, and I'm just trying to focus around the room, because I know somewhere in this room I have got, no, wait. Okay, so I'm going to try and speed up a bit now, because I'm noting that my video has already been on for 30 minutes, so I am sorry if I'm waffling too much. Right, Okay, so I'm just thinking, look, that I might attach, look at me, look, I'm just thinking, now that I might attach that on there and then attach that on the back, and then it'll make it feel a little bit more rustic. Tie it in with what I did on the sides. And then, you know, it's just sometimes you just got to wait for inspiration to hit. This is what I'm saying. When I'm sat downstairs deliberating and delaying and taking forever to make decisions, you just might as well better off be just doing it sometimes. Okay, think. Right, wait a second. I just need to get my head around where I'm putting this. So I'm thinking if I put that there, yeah, and then attach that bit. Okay, let's put a bit of this on first just to hold everything in place. So yeah, I'm sat there then doing this like Zoom thing whilst trying to work on my other computer at the same time, because I can't just sit and watch a Zoom meeting for 2.5 hours. That would send me around the bend, and it's not even like speed them up because it was live. Obviously didn't have my camera on. I just sit there lurking. I used to, but I didn't feel like it yesterday. So I was sat there then, like looking online for stuff, trying to find, like, see if there's any grants or something available, or just something that would help him out. And I was getting like really anxious doing it, and then I just thought, oh, what's going on here now? So obviously went and got my youngest then, all that happened then, sat back in my room, and I thought, I better carry on with what I was trying to do. And I was just starting to feel like really anxious, and I thought, I don't get that very often, if at all. I'm not one for, not for a long time anyway. I haven't struggled with anxiety or anything like that. I'm usually pretty just in a world of my own. So I try and stay in a world of my own, because then I don't get anxious about stuff. But I just started suddenly feeling really anxious. So I sent a message then to my eldest, and I just said, look, son, I don't know why. I said, Mum's been a bit stupid. I said, I just feel really anxious this afternoon. I said, would you mind just praying for me? I said, you know, just for some peace and, you know, calm, because I don't really, he was like, what's going on, Mum? I said, I don't know, nothing. I said, I don't know. And then as I was texting it then, I heard this little voice in my head saying, you can't say nothing and that you don't know, because you do know. And I instantly typed it. I don't know why, what made me type. And I said, do you think God gets annoyed when we ask for his help and then we try and do stuff in our own strength? And he was like, well, I don't think he's pleased about it, Mum. And I said, yeah, I think that's the feeling I'm getting today, because I've kind of asked for help and for like this prayer to be answered, and then I'm going off thinking, oh, well, I got to help God, and I haven't got to help God at all. He's God. He doesn't need my help, does he? So I had a bit of a reprimand then, and yeah. And I think once I had that realisation, because my son said to me, he said, when was the last revelation that you had? Go back to it. He said, I usually find that helps. So I did, because I'd had a bit of a word on Tuesday, and I went back to it, and I'd actually had it at the time in relevance to my eldest, which I'd shared with him at the time. And then so I went back to that thinking, well, this is not really relevant to me, is it, and how I'm feeling today? And then I read the verse before it, and then I was like, oh, I get it. And it was the bit in Mark 16 where it says that you know, after Jesus had risen from the dead, and how he went before them on ahead after seeing Mary Magdalene. And I thought, I get it now. Stop getting in the way. Stop trying to do everything in your own strength. Stop striving and struggling, and get out of the way. And when you get there, he'll already be there, and everything will already be resolved. And I didn't actually need to go around like a headless chicken trying to do anything. So all I got to do is just mind my business and get on with my work. So yeah, I was chastised. I was. So yeah, that was kind of like yesterday. And then once I kind of got that in my head, I stopped feeling anxious then. I just was like, what are you doing? Yeah, just leave it be. Just get on with some work. Get your video done. And it'll all be fine. It'll all work itself out. But don't we get silly sometimes when we think that we got to do everything ourselves? And at the end of the day, for those of you that do have faith, you know, if you've got a faith, employ it, isn't it? But don't say, oh yeah, everything will be fine, and then not believe it. So yeah, that was my mini revelation this week. And I did have my little telling off, my gentle reprimand, I should say. And I love it how when I have these moments, because I texted my son back after, and I was like, I said, what is it with this? I said, do you think we get, do you think there's a concession? Because I said, I know this stuff, but my brain forgets it because of the way my brain is. And I said, do you think that, you know, you got to be a bit understanding about that? I know this stuff, but I just forget. And I said, I knew all this stuff on Tuesday when I was kind of like being really strong and doing everything for the kids and one thing and another. And then you just forget, don't you? We know all this stuff. We know life doesn't have to be hard. We just make it harder ourselves sometimes, I think. Because we just don't. Well, like that little. I remember when I was a kid, our mum used to have this. My parents used to run a Christian bookshop when I was younger, and a centre, a Christian centre with a coffee shop. My dad had a recording studio there, and my mum had a Christian bookshop there. So I always remember as a kid, you know, always having like the bookmarks and, you know, like the little things, we would call them journal cards today, you know, with like little verses, scriptures and sayings. And I remember the one that always said, let go and let God. And I think to myself, yeah, because we are our own worst enemies, aren't we? Sometimes we just get in the way. So that's my little confessional for today, guys. Rachel's been getting in the way. And because she was getting in the way and one minding her own business and getting on with her own work, I'm going away now tomorrow and nothing's ready. I mean, that's nothing new for me, you know, but yeah, all the washing and the drying is done and all that. And I have actually done the food shopping. So that came because my youngest is not coming. So I had to get food in for the weekend. He's going to stay with my sister for a couple of days. So he can go to school Monday. We're off to Nottingham, actually. Shaw is running a half marathon. Would appreciate your prayers. Keep us safe, and also for him, be kept safe. He's got a bit of a problem with his hip, but I think he's just trying to fight it and get on with things. But yeah, so we're off up to Nottingham for a few days. Saturday, I think. Yeah, tomorrow. It's Friday today, isn't it? It is. Hey guys, you've got your Friday freebies on Friday this week. What do you reckon to that? Oh, I hope this is going to look all right now, because I've literally done all of this and I don't know what I'm doing, but I do like that very much. There we go. Right, okay. So that's our little gatefold doors on there. Just need to get that fold down there. Very nice. In a project like this, fabric can be your friend, in the way that when you want to add on these little extra bits and things that are going to flip and flap and one or the other, if you want to attach them with a bit of fabric, it does just add a bit of texture and, you know, it can give you more options, or it helps you put things together, if that makes sense. So there we go. Right, okay, so that's the bones of what I've done here now. So you can see now how this is kind of mirrored what I've been doing with my bits of cardstock, but obviously you don't need the cardstock to do this. You can do it now with this little kit. So that's one way in which it will all fit together. Obviously then you can, you know, jam all your, let's have a look, should we get some bits of ephemera? It's not like I haven't cut everything out here. I've got stacks of stuff here cut out. So, you know, we've got a nice tag there. Oh god, I thought I'd sat and inked all of this. Anyway, so there's that there. And then I've got larger tags here. I wonder if they'll fit in there. I'm not so sure about that. And I've got journal cards. We've got these smaller journal cards. I haven't finished cutting these out yet, but you do get the idea. And then we've got little tiny tags. There's another one there. That's a pretty tag. And then I've got, I wonder if one of these tags will go on the top of there. I don't know. I think they might be a bit big, but we can always cut it down. Let's have a look. They're cooling now because they've been standing in my pot. That's a pretty one, isn't it? Right, so I think it's going to be a little bit too wide, but that's okay. We can make that work. Right, give me a book page. Quickly. Come along now, because you're running out of time. Okay, that'll do. Is that long enough? Yes. That'll do. Okay. I'm going to really quickly back this tag and then trim it down because it's a bit wide, but we can make it work. No problemo. Oop. Come on. Yeah, let's put that side on there, I think. not going all the way up because I'm going to be trimming that down anyway. Let me just fold it over actually. There we go. Right, let's just cut that down now. And as I cut it, it should dry, and then we will redo the top then. Apologies guys if my video is a little disjointed today and not with its usual finesse. Who am I kidding? My videos never have finesse. They're always just a little bit of a mumbo jumbo, I think. But you know, I just wanted to kind of, hang on a second, cut there, cut there. There we go. Let's see if that fits now, shall we? Dry now and a little firm up, and then I'll put a bit of stitching around it then later, but let's just see if it'll go into the pocket. Yay! I'm so happy that fits. Right, what about lengthwise? So I'm just get rid of these bits a minute. Before you ask, no, I'm not keeping these scraps because I'm trying to downsize on the amount of stuff that I have got in here in my room. Because I need to move out. That's way too long, but that's okay. So what we're going to do, I'm just going to cut the bottom off. I don't need to make this any more difficult for myself than it already is. So I'm just going to trim it down. There we go. See that? Decisiveness. Yes. Right. Tag in. Go in. Don't mess me around. Come on. There we are. There we go. Perfect. And then we'll put a little tab on that after, and we will stitch around that, so that'll look lovely. And then these I will finish then them off, and I will ink them, and they will also look lovely. Literally, you're getting distracted now, missing the point, but that's nothing new, is it, guys? Let's be honest. And then, like I say, you can put a little bit at the top, but most importantly, what you can now do is add on bits. Oh, let's use these. Yes, let's use these. And we're going to make some extra pockets now that go in here. So, that one there is non-directional, that's non-directional, that's non-directional. Okay, let's go with these then. So I'm just going to cut down here. So when I got up this morning, I was determined, well, the fog had gone this morning. I did go to bed nice and early, which I haven't been doing. That doesn't help, see, sitting up till goodness knows what time. And I don't actually do anything, I'm just sitting there. I think I'm just decompressing, I think, from my day, but not that my days are particularly overwhelming if I'm not leaving the house, but you know, I just like the quiet at night. But I did go to bed last night at 11 and I did sleep well. And I got up this morning and I thought, right, come on, let's be productive. So I dyed my hair. I'm sure I'm having terrible trouble with my hair. I dyed my hair probably 4 times this summer. Nothing dramatic, just trying to get it to the right shade of blonde. And it just keeps going like really orangey. And I put loads of different, well, not loads, but I've done it 3 times with an ash light blonde, and it's just not counteracting this brassy tone that I have no idea. I mean, I know I have natural brassy undertones, but oh my goodness, it's doing my head in. And I hate it. I look in the mirror, then it's like, oh, my hair looks ginger. I really, it doesn't suit me at all. Mum's like, oh, it's lovely. I'm like, it's really not. I hate it. So I did my hair again this morning. The only trouble is, yesterday, I accidentally shampooed my hair with conditioner. Oh, gosh. I couldn't see, of course, take my glasses off in the shower. I can't see what I'm doing. So I was looking at this bottle thinking, is that shampoo? Is that conditioner? Oh, put it on my hair, realised, no, that's conditioner. So then I had to find some other shampoo. I'm on a mission at the minute, kind of like use up all the excess toiletries in that bathroom. So I'm basically just using whatever I can get my hands on. And literally yesterday that turned out to be blooming conditioner, which was not great. So then of course I put this toner stuff on my hair today, and now it's gone like really funny. The colour came out all right. It didn't do an awful lot, but I think it's toned it down a bit. And then it's gone like it's got way too much product on, that kind of thing, you know. So, but I can't wash it again now today. That would be like 3 times in 2 days. So, but there we are. Right, I'm just gonna glue these little pockets on here because I think they look ever so cute. Don't you think so? Right, where's my glue gun? Oh no, let's start nearer down, and then I've got a bit of bit of height then, on I, to add in anything that might be a bit tall, if you know what I mean. Now hang fire, Rachel, because ideally you need to start at the top, because you need to, no I don't, no it's alright, I'm going to sit, they're small enough to go on independently, but I mean if they were bigger you would overlay, but I don't need to particularly, not unless I put an extra one in. Maybe actually I might get 4 in there. What do you think? I've only ever done 3. Is there any need to do a 4th? No, I think I'll stick with 3. That seems like an overkill to me. Now I have a question. This is going to get lost now, isn't it, amongst this video, and as if anybody is still listening. I have a question. So I am putting together the Christmas collaboration for November, our annual A to Z Christmas crafts that we do, and I wanted to ask you all if you have any favourite YouTubers that you like to take part, to just give me a shout and I'll ask them if they want to join in, or if you have come across any new channels lately that you've enjoyed watching and they are, you know, in the beginning stages of their YouTube journey. If you want to let me know, pop it in the comments down below, guys. And you know, not only that, but it gives other people a chance to see these people's names and stuff. You know, we've got to keep on helping out, you know, other people and, you know, other people's channels and stuff. So yeah, if there's a channel that you particularly like watching, whether they've been in our collabs before, pop their names down below if you'd like to see them taking part in our Christmas A to Z Christmas craft collaboration in November. So I've been a very good girl. I have been working on the kit this week, and I'm very pleased with what's come together so far. So I'm going to work on that now while I'm away on the weekend, and that should be out then very soon. Very excited about it. Nobody has seen anything. I haven't shown anybody anything yet. I'm just kind of keeping it all under wraps at the minute, mainly because otherwise I get a bit nervous. So I thought, no, I want the whole thing. I've got like a concept in mind and I want the whole thing kind of done before I you know, share that really. So yeah, I'm just kind of like, I'm just sitting on it at the minute. Just like this little hedgehog here. Right, come on, let's dress this up a bit now, right? Shall we? Let's just make this look really, you know, cool. So I'm going to put a little bit of cheesecloth under that there. Loving my little labels from this month. I've seen a few of the comments from the girls that have been using them on their YouTube channel. Some of my design team have been a little bit foxed by the Latin words that were in the one kit, and didn't know what they meant. Well, I didn't really know what they meant either, so I just typed them into Google. Although some of them are pretty clear. The one has got the word, I think, arachnid in it. So I mean, that's pretty clear. That's got something to do with spiders. The one is something to do with butterflies. The other one is something to do with dragonflies. I was checking them all out again the other day because I'd forgotten, but I can't remember which ones are which. So, you know, it's just fun, isn't it, guys? There's nothing there that isn't relevant to, you know, the forest and winged animals entomology. I mean, gosh, you know what that word means, you know. So yeah, but it basically you can use any of them in any context. It's not going to look out of place. Does that make sense? Yes. Oh, I think we'll put this one on the front. Here we go. I'm sorry for all the inking. I hope I don't have anybody watching today that is triggered by inking and cutting, because I've just realised I've probably done quite a bit of that because I've been, there we are, arachnida. That means, you know, that's a spider word, isn't it? I knew what that was straight away. That's one word that I'm always on the lookout for, because I'm not a fan of spiders, I have to be honest. My days, we've had some big spiders in the house this week. So I've been Googling, you know, how to keep spiders out. Apparently they don't like essential oils like tea tree, peppermint, and what was the other one that it'll come to me in a minute. I've forgotten now. But I was looking for it in the shop. I didn't find it though. But yeah, I'm really not a fan of the old spiders. Oh, here's another one of these. Right. I love these little specimen card things I did. I think they're so cute. Pop that one in there. Oh, what about birdie? I wonder if I've got any of these birdies printed small enough. Do you want to see my trays, guys? I only the other day unpacked my trays that I bought from France. I got so much stuff I was supposed to be showing you. Isn't that cute? Bought it in the shop in Amboise. Amboise was lovely. I've missed France so much, really have. I've never ever been homesick for a holiday destination before like I have this year. And funny enough, my youngest said the same thing to me the other day. He said, you know what, Mum, I'm really missing being in France. And I was like, what? Really? Because I didn't expect him to say that. He's a real homeboy, you know? And he said, yeah, he said, I'm really missing being in France. And I said, oh gosh, I thought it was just me. I said, I know, me too, son. Me too, big time. I might just pop that on there like that. Doesn't look too weird, does it? Just sit in there like that? I don't think so. This is what makes these little projects, guys, is adding all these little extras on. I have inked most of the stuff in this pot. I know I did it because I sat and did it one night. There we are, some of these leaves are done. Right, so shall we add some of these bits and pieces on now and just really, like, texturize this? I was going to show you a second idea. I'm not sure if I'm going to have time because I think this video is already going to have, like, run to the max. Do you know what? I do these videos very often where I do actually tell you all loads of stuff that goes on for me. And then I get to the end and I'm like, oh my gosh, that video is way too long. I just cut it all out. I just fast forward it, cut massive chunks out. So I do tell you stuff. I share a lot with you all. You just don't always get to hear it, that's all. So there we go. So if you ever feel like I'm holding back, I'm not. It just doesn't make the cut. Or I get to the point where I'm editing and I'm like, yeah, I really don't need them to hear all of that nonsense. So, but that's okay because I get stuff off my chest like that. So if this does make the cut today, I do apologise for offloading. You know, it's just good for you to perhaps understand sometimes why sometimes we're here as YouTubers and then sometimes we go quiet and life just gets a bit manic. It's very easy to come and sit on a camera and just, you know, talk and like everything's, you know, normal and fine, and when really it isn't. And then when we just like disappear, then you're all kind of like, gosh, is everything okay? I'm like, well, actually we kind of had all this stuff going on. I love that little bird. I'm gonna just pop him in there a minute. Right, okay, let's do some sticking. That's enough inking. Let's do some sticking. My blinking scan and cut clipped that there, but I was initially chucking stuff out that got damaged, and then I'm like, Rach, you stick things over stuff anyway, so what difference does it make? Right, let's have some bits of cheesecloth. Let's just see if we can get this finished and looking amazing, and then I'll be happy. Okay, right, one. I'm just literally, sorry, I should be doing this on camera. I'm just literally chopping off bits of cheesecloth here. So one, because I'm going to just put it behind some of my labels and stuff. Oh, okay, right, okay. So, oh, and that's the other thing I keep meaning to tell you. What that's what I did the other day when I was on one of those calls. I have finally done my Amazon storefront. What's an Amazon storefront? Amazon storefront is where I have a link now. I've got one for the UK and then one for US. And I think Canada. Basically, when I'm using stuff, I get a lot of, like, where did you get that from? What tool are you using there? So I finally gotten around. Oh, it's hours and hours of work, mind. I started it 10 months ago when I opened the file. I finally found the link. The trouble is I work on stuff and then lose how to get into it, or I lose the login. Anyway, sorted it all out this week. I'm so proud of myself. Finally got into it, and I have spent hours sitting there collating lists. I am not yet done. I'm halfway through, but there's a stack of stuff on there. So if there's anything you want to know about what I've used, tools that I've used, things that I want to recommend, things that I perhaps might want to try, something a friend's recommended, I've added them in, and I've kind of categorized some of them so far. But if you want to buy those things, if you do it through my storefront, it doesn't cost you any more, but I do get some money from Amazon, so it helps me then a bit with my income. So yeah, it's like I say, it doesn't cost you any more. It's just your way of showing us YouTubers a little bit of support by using our storefront, because Amazon then give us a small percentage. I mean, it's no great shakes, but obviously the more people that use it, the better that is for us then. So yeah, I have got that set up. I have put the links in my description box down below. There's one for UK, one for US and beyond. And the links are also in my link tree. So if you do have to get anything from Amazon, guys, I would appreciate it so much if you wouldn't mind going through my storefront link. And if there's anything that you want me to add on to there, or a product that you want to recommend and I can add it in so other people can see it, don't be afraid to give me a shout and I will do that too. But we always appreciate any help that you guys give us, and we're always looking for ways in which we can, you know, increase our incomes without it kind of having an adverse effect on you. So to me, this is the perfect combination, because you get to do your Amazon shopping. Not that I'm enabling you, of course, but you get to do your Amazon shopping, and then I get a little bit of money from Amazon for recommending stuff to you. So this glue gun, which I have had some questions about, unfortunately is not available on Amazon, much to my chagrin. It was sent to me very kindly by my beautiful friend Phyllis, and I will put the link to the website where she got it from down below. But Amazon mustn't trick you. They really want to get on board with this product because it's a great little tool. And I'm finding it really helpful because I can't use this glue otherwise. And I love this glue. What glue am I using? This is in my Amazon store. It's the Nouveau adhesive glue. And it is from Tonic actually, and I love it. I also love the little thing on the top. But the lid on this bottle here is great because it's got a built-in see, pin. So these are on my Amazon storefront, these Nouveau glues, and I do love them. So, but with this little gun, it makes it so easy for me because it is squeezing the, I wonder if this is like something somebody came up with off like a 3D printer or something, I don't know. Approved. Oh, I like that, look, with all the cheesecloth splaying out. Right, okay, so what other one am I going to put in here now? Should we put that on there like so? Yeah, I like that, eh? Let's do it. Come on, reckless abandon. I promised today, didn't I? Oh, I'm going to overthink everything. Here we are. Okay, I'm not putting the word arachnid on there. That is not happening. Oh, let's have notes. There we are. You can see what I put on there then. And I think I'm probably going to have to leave it at that then, guys, because I'm guessing that I'm at my hour now. And I don't like to go over if I can help it. I do have another idea of how to use this freebie, but I'm going to have to do that as a separate video, I think, because I'm just going to be taking up way too much of your time today. And I'm going to be honest, I don't actually have time to edit this video, so it's probably going to go out as I've made it, which, oh my gosh, makes me now cringe, because I know I've waffled a lot. I'm sorry about the waffling, but I'm not sure about that little birdie in there. I don't think he's right. I'm sure I'll come up with some other bits and pieces. Ooh, right, hang on a second now. Okay, I've just had a thought. I want to put a belly band there. That's what I was just thinking about. And I just want it to be... Right, so I'm going to use a bit of this. Sorry, excuse me. I'm going to just cut that off there. Just trim that around. Okay, right. Okay, guys. So I just nipped down to do some stitching and add some bits and pieces in. So I'm just going to pop this onto the front now, and I will show you then the finished product, because I am super pleased with it, and I thought it would just be really good for you to see how, just by adding some stitching, some torn page, I've used a bit of old music paper in here, and I've taken a bit of just lace that I had, and I've just run it over my ink pad simply by what I did. Let me just tell you, because I wondered what to do. I put the bit of lace like that on my thing. I held my dauber on the top, and then I just pulled it through the ink pad like that, and it just literally inked both sides for me then. So it's all nice and grungy and looks like it's been on the forest floor now. So basically I'm just going to tie that around here like so. And then put a little bow in it. And then I've made this little, I took one of the bottles off the, you know, where are they? Oh, there's a piece of ephemera in the one. Oh, there we are, look, one of these. And I just cut one off the end and I've put that on there with a little charm, and I put a brad through it, and I thought I'll just hook that onto this bit of lace so that that just finishes that off nicely. Ooh, there we go, push that down, lovely jubbly. There we are, I'm really happy with that. So this is going to go, and I know I haven't showed you the inside, I am going to show you in a minute. This is going to go on the top of here. Oh golly, thank goodness it fits, because I hadn't checked. So I'm going to stick it down, because if I don't, I'm never going to do it. And then I'm going to show you what it looks like. And I hope you like the finished product, because I'm really pleased with it. Really pleased. Right, glue that lace down there. So check that's where you want it to be before you, yeah, I'm happy with that. Before you go gluing anything into place. Right, come on now, glue. This is not time for faffing about. I think I need to top this up. It's getting a bit low. It was good if I stopped my phone then. I just had 3 blooming phone calls and I was trying to do the stitching. We're in trouble with our insurance company have referred us a physio from our car accident. But the physiotherapist that they've sent us to is absolutely useless. He basically block books me and the boys in. We get like 15 minutes for the 3 of us, and he's not doing anything. All he's doing is like touching like that on our necks, and I'm like, come on mate, you can't be serious. And we're in there all of 5 minutes. I have to drive half an hour to get there, and I'm like, oh, I just don't need this at the end. Well, I know Dan hates it after school. So when we went to see the doctor for the medicals on Tuesday, he was like, yeah, that's no good, you need proper physio, otherwise it's not going to get better. And I was like, I know. My neck and my back were killing me last night. So anyway, finally get hold of the insurance company. So they've just rung. So they said, oh yeah, we'll ring the medical people and we'll get them to find you someone here. So they just rang me, and I was like, yeah, I'm not travelling all that way. And she said, well, he is the nearest. And I said, you've got to be kidding. I said, can't we have another physiotherapist that's local to us? I said, I know loads of good No, they've got to be on our list. And I said, well, I'm not quite sure what qualifies for them to be licensed by you. I said, but this is just not on. I said, because at the end of the day, he's just ticking boxes and wasting your money and my time. And I said, it's not good enough. So I said, I'd like to go with somebody independent, please. So she's sending it back to the insurance company now. Oh, it's such a faff, isn't it? It's all this, everybody jumps on the bandwagon, don't they, when there's insurance involved, and they think, oh, we'll just con this, which is great, fine, but not when there's a person stuck in the middle of it trying to get a service. So at the end of the day, I'm not driving around wasting fuel to go get physio that I'm not being given. Does that make sense? Sorry, that sounds a bit harsh. I'm having to put my big girl pants on this afternoon. I don't really like argy-bargy and, you know, complaining, but time is precious, and you're not wasting it driving around for nonsense like that. So I thought, no, I can't be doing with that. Can't be doing with it. There we go. Right. So, oh, that looks so cute on there. I love it. So that'll come down like that. Sorry, guys, I'm bit in your face. And obviously, I'll add some of the other bits inside. But do you want to see what I've done on the inside? Are you ready? Right, okay. Oh, I feel like I should put it in here to show you. Shall I do that? Let me zoom you out a bit. Sorry, guys, if you're a bit close. You're going to have whiplash on your neck then, and you're straining to see. Okay, so this is going to go here, like that, okay? And then you'll open this, and then you'll open this thing like that, and then open the door. Little barn doors open. My little hedgehog inside. I think he's cute. I'll move my posh tray. There we go. I want to come in just a little bit. There we are. Sorry, guys. I'm swinging you around today, nice. So I put this little hedgehog in, and I put that, and then you can write or whatever on the back of there. And then I just made a little cluster there. And then here I've put just a label. I put a little bit of scrap paper behind it, did some stitching, and I've done that just so that it can be, and that's literally all it is. It just tucks under there like that, okay? And then on the front then we've got this lovely little pocket, which I've managed to glue a thread to. Hang on a sec. Sorry, I had thread caught on thread then. Oh, I didn't ink that because I was downstairs doing this. There we go. So I've just put one of the little journaling cards in, and it's amazing how when you add a little bit of lace and a little bit of stitching, how it just brings everything together. Okay, so that's there. And then you'll open this up, and then I made a little tuck there, which you saw right here. Just folded a bit of paper, stitched some lace over the top. I was going to make it like a belly band, but this was sticking up and it was catching on there, so I've stuck that down, and I've put some little leaves in there. They can be written on, but they look like they've just been gathered off the forest floor, don't they? And then when you open this up, ta-da! And then in here then we've got our lovely tag selection, and they're all stitched now with bits of lace on them, and they go in there. And then we've got our lovely big tag here, which I've now stitched around, and I've popped a little lace tab on the top. And then here I've made two nice little clusters using some nice lace and some old music page. And then as you flip this one down, and then you'll flip this one up. Oop. And now I'm going to have to zoom you out now, guys, because you won't see it otherwise. So we've got one here. And I've just put the word location at the top there, and you've got a little journal card there to journal on. So that goes up there like so. And then here we've got our little pockets then that we did. And then I've just made a little cluster, scrappy cluster to go in that one there. You can put whatever you like in your pockets. And then down the bottom here then we've got another pocket with two lovely journaling cards in, with some more bits of lace and some stitching on, just to make them feel a bit more, you know, rustic. And I've just put another little scrappy cluster on that one there. So I think that's all done. I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. Obviously there's lots of different ways that you can go about putting this together. This is just one idea. I was going to show you something else, but I'll have to do that in another video because I have run out of time and I've kept you all long enough today. But I'm really pleased with how that's turned out. And like I say, you could just add and add and add and add to it, but this is just you know, to show you how to make a start putting the bare bones together. And I just think that looks really nice in there. And from the outside, you would never know that that lovely little envelope folio is in there. And again, like I say, when people open your stuff up, if they're a bit lazy, they won't undo a ribbon. They'll just think, oh, that's nice. And because it says diary on it, oh, I'll leave that be. And then not only that, but once you've done going through all of that on the front then you'll get to open this down. And then it'll all start again on the inside. So I'm going to carry on now with my freebies, working on the inside of that. I'm going to let you guys go. You can go and download the freebies for free from our Ko-fi page. And don't forget to leave me a comment on any YouTubers that you would like to see included in our upcoming Christmas collaboration. I can't promise you that they will take part. Sometimes people say no, sometimes they're busy. I might not be able to get hold of them, or I may just have too many names given to me, but I will do my very best because I do like to try and bring in new people to keep bringing you fresh ideas. Okay, have a wonderful weekend, and I will be back with you all very soon. Take care now. Bye-bye.